Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Robert, and this is another playthrough of Star Wars Destiny Encounters. And this time I'm playing against the Squadrons encounter set, and I've picked Luke to go up against Luke and Wedge Antilles. We're going to be playing in easy difficulty, and this time I'm doing something different. I'm playing using a Destiny Smash deck, alright, which you can see the list of here, alright. So this is a pretty special Star Wars Destiny format, which I talked about in my buyer's guide. So I've picked these two character decks and combined them to have this non-aggressive deck. All right, so it's a deck that focuses on trying to build the Death Star to win instead of through defeating characters. And for the enemy, I've also replaced a couple just the defense cards. I replaced them for the elite versions. Other than that, everything stays the same, and this is what the setup should look like when you set up in any difficulty, unless you replace cards like this or this for the elite version. All right, but this is what it should look like when you're done setting up. I'm not going to be playing with the advanced battlefields module, so the enemy is not going to pay attention to battlefield claim abilities. All right, and I am going to be playing with the advanced discard and hand rules module. Because I want to use the discard phases from these characters effectively to discard from the enemy's hand. All right. Now, another thing that encounters Squadrons comes with, it comes with these two cards. All right. These are cards that you can purchase during setup before you draw your opening hand, which I am gonna do. I'm not gonna play this. All right. I don't have any use for the laser turret, but for the mercenary Z95. It says, if playing encounters Squadrons before drawing starting hands, each player may play up to one set-aside copy of the support, reducing its cost by 1. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'm going to have this support, all right, from the beginning of the game. And it's going to assist me a bit in, hopefully resisting some of the damage that's going to happen, all right. So with that, I'll go ahead and draw my starting hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle a bit, all right, and we are going to finish setup by then rolling to see who goes first. So I'll definitely keep this, this, and this one up. Okay, and actually, yeah, no, let's return that. All right, cool. So I'll return that and draw another card. Okay, there we go. Electroshock, great. So yeah, I really need to have some dice removal in my hand for me to defend against these characters, because I need to try to stall them as long as possible. All right. So I drew my hand, and now we just determine who goes first. Okay. So let's start by rolling these two. All right. So we got that, and I'll count in a second what that ups to. So that adds up to. So that's 5 and 3, so that's 2, and then 2 and 3, so that's 5. So between the two characters, I have 5 so far. All right, and now remember that in encounters Squadrons, okay, the enemy characters roll their vehicle dice to determine who goes first, not just their character dice. Okay. It's specified in the instructions, and it looks like I'm gonna go first, all right, because I rolled higher. Okay. The enemy only got 2 plus the 1 there, so that's 3. I got 5. So that means that Luke's gonna get his 2 shields, okay? And this goes here, and we're ready. We're ready to go. So I'm gonna put this back on their character cards, and Director Krennic reduces the point value of my Death Star plot by 1, and when I activate that character, I can turn one of my dice to any side. That's fine. And then when I activate Jabba the Hutt, I can look at the top 4 cards on my deck and get a yellow event or bounty. All right, so bounty, right? Yep. All right, cool. So now I go first. Oh, and for figuring out who controls the battlefield, so since I won the roll, I control the battlefield, and when I claim it, I turn this to a red side. Right, that means that it's been claimed for that round. Okay. All right, so let's start by, let me roll this Jabba the Hutt die first. So to activate, I'm gonna be using this tokens. All right, that means that it's exhausted. Okay. All right, let's see. So that's 2 and 3. Great. So that's already two That's already to resource die, which I do want to use towards this. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Um, let's go ahead and activate Luke. So Luke is piloting his ship. So I'm gonna just put this in between them. All right. So they both are activated together. Okay. So his ship rolled 6. He rolled 4. All right. Now, do I want to remove that? Am I okay with discarding cards? Well, okay, here's the thing, right? So X-Wing has this resource on it. So when the enemy activates it, if it has a resource on it, it'll discard it and gain an additional action, right? So um, when when Wedge activates, he'll then resolve the sixes, all right? So I might lose 2 cards from my hand, and that is gonna suck. So what I can do is let me secure. And I forgot to resolve Jabba's ability. My bad. Let me do that now. So when I activate it, I reveal the top 4 cards of my deck. Right. And I can put on an event, remove one of my dice to remove one opponent's die, respell your character to remove a die. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and put he doesn't like you, all right? Or that, do I want to put that? Or he doesn't like you, Imperial Discipline. Actually, no, I can put that card. It can only be a yellow event. Yeah, I'll put he doesn't like you, and then put the rest at the bottom. Okay, all right, cool. So I forgot to do that. All right, so now what am I gonna do? I think I definitely don't want to lose a data pad. So let's go ahead and put a data pad on Director Krennic. All right. Okay, data pad, and I'm gonna use this as the die for that. All right. And then the enemy will activate Wedge. Okay. All right, so that's 5 and 5. Okay, so that's for the vehicle. And then because the X-Wing has a resource on it, it'll go ahead and discard it and gain an additional action. Okay, so it'll resolve its 6s. I discard 2 cards at random from my hand. Okay, Electroshock and Entourage. I'm sad to lose the Electroshock because I want to prevent some damage. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think Jabba is just gonna have to take a beating. Although, now right now, if I were to activate, Krennic is gonna take the most damage right now because the enemy prioritizes ready characters and then the ones with the most upgrades on them. So yeah, Krennic is gonna be the one who's gonna be targeted next. Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about it. I can maybe. Oh, I know what I'll do. Let's go ahead and nah, I think I'm gonna try to rush this. Yeah, this kind of sucks, but I'm gonna have to just let me just try to rush it and try to start resolving this constructed Death Star as fast as I can. So let's activate this. All right. Okay, so we got 3. All right, that's a resource. That's great. 6. It's for turning dice to any side, and then 1. It's a blank for the data pad. All right. Now the enemy will go ahead and deal 4 damage to Krennic. All right. Let me just switch places just so that I don't get confused. Okay. All right. In the future, so 4. Krennic gonna take 4 damage. All right. And let's actually, instead of using this, let's use these. All right. Since I'm using the proxy dice. Okay. 4. And after I activate it, I may turn one of your dice to a side showing a value of 1. Okay, I forgot about that ability. So 3 and 6. Let's just do. Yeah, let's just turn this to a resource side. Okay. There we go. 6. That's fine. Forgot about that ability. So now, yeah, it's my turn. And I'll go ahead and do action, remove 2 of my dice showing resource, and I place 2 resources on the Death Stars, so on the constructed Death Star plot. So that's one. That's one time I did it. Now it doesn't say too exhausted or anything. I can keep doing it as long as I have the dice. All right. Now Luke will let me choose a character and deal 2 damage to it. All right, that's fine. I'll deal 2 to Jabba the Hutt. I could put a damage, that's from the special. I could put a damage on the mercenary, but I'm not going to do that yet. All right, now action, remove 2 of my dice, each showing a resource. Krennic, so that's going to be 3, and these 2, 3 and 6. They are both showing resource, and I'm going to construct it. Okay, there we go. So that's 4. And now let's have the enemy take an action. So they play a card, resupply. The enemy gains 1 resource, and then place a resource on each enemy card. All right. So that's bad for me because then that means that it's gonna take more actions later, which is unfortunate. All right. Now on my turn, anything else I can do? I don't really see resolve one of my modifier dice. I want to keep control of the battlefield. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me keep control of the battlefield and and then let's see. Enemy relentless assault. The enemy resolves all of its leader dice in the pool. There's none. And then ready the enemy leader. So the enemy leader will ready. His vehicle will remain exhausted though. All right, and then I've claimed, so I don't really the claim action didn't really do anything for me. I'll go ahead and just have the enemy activate and resolve his die. So that's 4. I just have to do more damage. Let's do 4 on Jabba. All right, so he now has just place 2 on him. All right, there we go. So all right, now we move on to upkeep. They gain a resource. I gain 2. I flip this. We replenish hand, and I'm gonna draw up to 5. Okay, there you go. Switch a card from my hand to discard pile. All right. I do have some dice removal at least this time. Okay, so now we also remove these exhaust tokens. All right. Okay, so now let's. I don't have any upgrades. Well, I do, but I don't have enough damage to be putting on them. So I'll go ahead and activate Jabba. I'll make sure not to forget to use his ability this time. All right, so roll. All right, so that's 3 and 5. So didn't quite get the other resource die, but I can fix that in a second. And I look at the top 4 and get let's see. Well, I can only put yellow events, so I'll put this in my hand, all right? And this goes at the bottom. All right, so that was my turn. And then the enemy will go ahead and activate. So let's put this in between them. All right, so that's 4 and 1. Okay. Now on my turn, for more damage, unblockable at that. Let's roll this. Let's put this on him. Okay, I must not forget his ability. Let's see if I can build a Death Star before. Okay, so that's a resource. That's awesome. Not resource, and then focus. Okay, I can. This is doable. Oh shoot! I forgot about his extra action. Oh well, let's see what happens. Because if I'm gonna play out dice removal, it must have been now. But let's see. 5 and 2. Okay, so now the enemy takes an additional action because of X-Wing. All right, I remove that resource, and then he'll resolve his 5, and that's gonna be against Director Krennic. All right, let's do this. It's not looking good for Director Krennic. He's gonna pass out soon. So, Oh, and I forgot about his ability. What am I doing? Should. Let's see. 5, 5, 6. All right, so I'll turn this to a 3. I keep forgetting. My bad. All right. Yeah. 5, 5, and 3. All right, cool. I do that. I forgot, and then I'm gonna play. He doesn't like you. I'm gonna remove this and remove his number 4 die. All right, and then he'll gain a resource and he'll advance. All right, that's what he does on his turn. On my turn, I'm gonna play Reap. All right, to turn. Let's see. I'm gonna turn. These are already no, they're not both resource. These are those. So I'm gonna turn this to number 3. All right, which is resource, and then the enemy will play a card R2D2, which goes on X-wing, and every time that the enemy leader is activated, if it rolls blank, then R2D2 does a thing. So I'll just try to remember for that. And then R2D2 also has Surge. Deal 1 black damage to each of my characters. That is brutal. Alright, they're just taking a beating. Now I'll go ahead and do action. Remove 2 of my dice showing resource to place 2 resources on the Death Star. Alright, enemy enhance propulsion. Alright, so place this on the enemy vehicle, and when it's played, the enemy gains an additional action, and then when this vehicle is activated, the enemy also gains an additional action. So, but also the moment that it's played. So the enemy gains an additional action, so that means that they claim the battlefield. Okay. All right, and then I'll do another action for the Death Star. Construct the Death Star. I'll remove these 2, and this is at 8 now. All right, and let me go ahead and roll. Since the enemy is gonna pass, let me go ahead and roll this guy and see if I can get a shield or something. So that's 4. That's 1 damage. Sure, why not? All right. I don't really have any more things in my hand that I can use, so let me discard this. All right, so I'll discard this. Let's just from let's go to upkeep. So I'll flip this, flip these 2. I gain 2 resources, right? Okay. All right, so let's go to 4. And then, so we're at 4 resources. Enemy will then move over here. All right, let's do this. Let's see, resource. All right, cool. And then we just now draw up to 5. All right, let's see, 5. All right, there we go. And we now begin a new round. So the enemy starts. So let's see. There's a lot going on because of the attachments on X-wing. So let's see. All right. So now, so X-wing rolled blank. So R2D2 is exhausted. All right. For this, so I'll just do that. So exhaust R2D2, and actually no, it's not R2D2. Exhaust R2D2 and re-roll it and give Luke 1 shield. All right, still roll black. All right, so that's 3. So that's what R2D2 does, and then the enemy gains an additional action. So Wedge is activated. All right, 2 and 5. All right, and here is where I need to play a card because stuff is just gonna get ugly real fast if I don't. So entangle. Spot a yellow character to remove up to 2 dice showing a combined value of 3 or less. So 2 dice value of 2, value of 0. All right, so remove those. Enemy's turn, gain 2 resources. So it'll advance. All right, and then on my turn, let's go ahead and play, or actually, let's roll Jabba. Let's activate Jabba. I forgot to remove these from them earlier. these are fine. Yeah, let's remove, let's activate Jabba. All right. Okay, so that's 4 and 6. And then I look at the top 4, and this is the only thing I can put in my hand, well connected. All right. And put this at the bottom. Okay. 4 and 6. Yeah, I didn't get the dice that I wanted in this case, the faces that I needed. All right. Enemy has no dice to resolve, so home 1. All right. So gets a vehicle. All right. Let's re-roll. Well, let's roll this guy. So activate like that. All right. 5. 3 and 5, so that's a resource, and discard a resource and resource. So all right, got 2 resources there. That's good. And then I can turn one of my dice to a face showing 1. Let's see. Let's go ahead and turn Jabba. It's 4 and 6. 4, 6. Let's turn the 6 to 3, which is the 1 resource face, right? And then the enemy will activate home 1. All right. Okay. But then, and when this is activated, you put a resource on it. That's home 1. Now, before the enemy resolves that, I want to resolve the discard faces. So let's see. 5 is the discard phase. These are the resource phases. Okay. So 4 and 5 are the discard phases. So that's, I'm gonna resolve these discard phases for 3 in total. So I'm gonna discard all of that except 1. So the easier way to do it is I roll a d4, and that die will be, that card will be the one card that that card will be the one that stays behind. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1 is the one card that stays, so that means the enemy won't play this, this, or this. All right. Okay. Then the enemy proceeds to resolve the home 1 special. Discard all resources on this support to heal that much damage from each enemy pilot, and if there's any excess healing, add that many shields instead. So because Luke was already at full health, he gains one shield. All right, so that's home 1 being resolved. I still need to keep constructing the Death Star, so I can't claim the battlefield right now. So I'll go ahead and spend a resource and play supply line. Okay, there we go. Then the enemy will go ahead and claim the battlefield. All right. I'll go ahead and roll supply line. Okay, that's 4, which is our resource. That's excellent. So these are all resource phases. So the enemy is just gonna keep passing. Okay, that's just a 1 blank die. But action, construct the Death Star. Let's add 2 more. So let's go here. All right. So 2. From action, remove 1. Let's see. So yeah, that's a resource phase. All right. So that's 2, and then action again, remove 3 and 3. All right. So that's 4. All right. So if I do this a couple more times, I win. All right. But yeah, I'm thankful that I was able to remove that from the enemy, like those damage dice. It wasn't looking good. So I'll spend 1 more resource, and then I'll play, let's put this away. I'll play Death Star plans. All right. Let's see. Place 1 resource or remove 2 shields. All right. So I'm gonna place this on Jabba the Hutt. All right, and I'm gonna exhaust it. Okay. And then exhaust this upgrade to place 1 resource or remove 2 shields from the Death Star. After an opponent's effect deals damage to a attached character, they may move this card to one of their characters. And obviously, like if that happens, I'll go ahead and give it to Luke, I suppose. All right, so I'll go ahead and give this 5. All right, so I do this 1 more time, and I will win. Do I want to do anything else with my hand? Spot a yellow character to gain a resource. Each opponent draws a card. Oh, I can still do this. Let's roll this mercenary. 2. That's a blank. All right. I still have 1 resource. I don't want the enemy advancing further, so that's fine. All right. So yeah, we move on to upkeep. Okay. So give the enemy 1 resource. I gain 2. Flip this. And let's ready this. Remove the exhaust tokens. All right. Oops. Remove these, and now we replenish our hands. Move this over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I draw up to 5. There we go. Okay. And now we begin new round. Now the enemy goes first. And remember, there's these attachments to Luke's X-Wing. Alright, so no blanks were rolled, that's fine, but Luke does gain an additional action, so Wedge activates, alright. And then, okay, I still have a bit more time when the home one activates, so I'll roll Director Krennic, okay, 3. Hopefully I can win after this. Oh, no, I rolled all blanks. Wow. No bueno. Let's turn... wow, so many blanks. Let's turn this to a 3, I suppose. I can still try to roll Jabba. So home 1 will roll. Okay. And we place a resource on home 1. Let's roll Jabba. Okay. Activate. Alright, and I forgot to put this here. Alright. Okay. Roll. Okay, 3 and 4. That's alright, that's better. I think I got this. Now I also look at the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do spot yellow character. Yeah, let's do this. Alright. This goes at the bottom. And then the enemy will resolve its 6, so it's 6. So Krennic takes 3 damage, and no more 6s. And then now I think I win because action remove 2 of your dice, each showing a resource, right? So this is resource, and this is resource. There we go. So those are the 2 that it was missing, and there you go. Now that's 15, and I win. I have 15 or more resources are on this plot, you win the game. All right, so I was able to build the Death Star, but yeah, I actually honestly was not expecting that I was gonna be able to get away with it. But yeah, this saved me. This This entangle. Yeah, I saved some damage, and yeah, it would have probably taken me another round. And also I drew Death Star plans, so that helps. But yeah, that was fun. I think this is the first time I've won with an alternative win condition like that. And as I've explained before, this feels like the power level of these Smash decks, they feel like a starter deck tier, alright? So I think easy, if you're going to play with the Smash decks, I recommend the easy difficulty setting. It's pretty on point, alright? But I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, go ahead and put them in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.